Yeah, y'all. T knows everything is back. And I'm here to talk about NBA being fixed. I got a couple of points and views and a couple of things that I can highlight, y'all can look at later, that prove that the NBA is really fixed. So, we're not going to forget about the 2007 scandal with the referee Tim Donaghy, however you pronounce his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. A lot of people don't know that Tim actually wrote a book called Personal Fouls. And in that book, he kind of tells everyone that the NBA is fixed. He says over 100 officials that we don't know of that they have to answer to. So imagine all those people coming together to perhaps fix a game or cone a scenario for a good storyline to lead up to a championship. So let's talk about the storylines. 2020, we all know we lost Kobe. That was probably one of the darkest days in world history, losing a superstar of that caliber. But even before Kobe died, it was a lot of storylines pointing towards the Lakers winning the championship in 20. Let's go with LeBron passing up Kobe in points from 2020. And then I think a few days after that, I think that's when Kobe died. Then we had COVID. That ain't really had nothing to do with the NBA. But then all of a sudden the NBA comes back. The NBA has to finish its season. They basically pick and choose. Well, they gave teams the choice whether to play in the bubble or not. A lot of them really weren't fucking with it. There was too much stuff going on to actually really think about basketball. But that season had to be done. Who won? The Los Angeles Lakers. All right. 21. It was the year Giannis. The NBA had to show that a small market team can actually win the NBA championship. Milwaukee Bucks win in 21. 22. Team I love, the Golden State Warriors. But I have to be real. 22 is pointing towards the Warriors winning. I did predict they would win before the season started. I did say that. But that ain't got nothing to do with the storyline that leads up to a championship. Steph Curry breaks the all-time three-point record of all time. Now he's the three-point shooting king. It's kind of like, ooh, they may lean towards him winning the championship. Oh wait, he's never got the Finals MVP. So haven't got all that. All that. Now, I can't really touch much on 23 set for it was clear cut that Denver was the best team in the league the whole year. Number 1 offense, top 5 defense. No one really seen that coming, but for the most part, the NBA is fixed. I'm gonna go to a couple of points. This is how you know that I really watch basketball. The play-in, the game between the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves stood out to me. Just stood out. I remember Mike Conley being a real big problem for the Lakers. The game that they won barely against the Timberwolves. And Timberwolves could have easily won that game. But for some odd reason, Mike Conley, for the last 3 minutes of the game, was sitting in the corner. But the whole game before that, he was killing their ass. I want to say he probably had 28 points. And the last 3 minutes of the game, Kyle Anderson was bringing up the ball. Kyle Anderson was bringing up the ball, and the Timberwolves were not playing any perimeter defense. To the point it just looked set up to the point that Dennis Schroeder was in the corner by himself. And I can't think about who passed him the ball. But when he passed him the ball, he was by himself and he just hit a wide open 3. No one even thought about going out there to go defend the 3. He hit a wide open 3. These niggas are NBA basketball players. Of course, with nobody contesting the shot, they're gonna hit it, right? And the Lakers are up by 3. And then they win the game. But remind you, Mike Conley was killing their ass. He's the point guard. Why is Kyle Anderson at 6'9" bringing up the ball? He can't even dribble, but he's bringing up the ball. And Mike Conley sat in the corner for the last 3 minutes of the game. The referees, it's to the point that we know who they are. In the 80s and 90s, we didn't know who these motherfuckers was. We didn't know who any referee by name. We didn't know that. That just wasn't heard of. But now the referees are a pivotal part of the game. They're very known, and the calls that they make is like, oh, it's my cue. Gotta call this now. And it shouldn't be like that. But these guys is training to play a sport. Let the sport go. Everything has to be about money. And I just looked at what the NBA was. I was born in '84, so I see a lot of the Showtime era and Michael Jordan's whole title reign. It just seems like the NBA got more like entertainment, like WWE. And they have globalized a lot, with the overseas basketball and bringing it all together and drafting people from other countries, and they did a good job money-wise. But let them play. We don't want to know who's gonna win. We don't want to feel like we being bamboozled. A lot of people bet money on these games and not even know the fix is already in for the game even start. It's just, it needs to change. It's taking the fun out of watching it. The league's gotten soft as hell. Like, a flagrant foul can basically be a little nudge. Oh, you touched his face barely with your pinky. Flagrant foul. The NBA has just gotten soft and greedy, and everybody's still gonna watch it, but it's fixed. I work for a few NBA basketball players that kind of solidify what I said, what I've been saying. And I'm gonna end it with this. One particular NBA basketball player that I actually worked for, probably like 7 years ago, he was like, the NBA made $40 billion off the Cavaliers and the Warriors. And the craziest thing that was said was, it made $40 billion, right? That first year. He said, that's the most money the NBA has ever made off the NBA Finals ever. We're going to probably see the Warriors and the Cavaliers for the next 3-4 years. And he said that in 2016. We've seen it 16, 17, 18. That was 3 years. I said, whoa. And this is before the finals even came up. So no. Let's take that back. They had 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 4 years. How did he know that? Because basically, he pointed the arrow. Whatever is going to make the most money, that's what they're going to do. So, that's how I know that the NBA is fixed, and that's how I know the more go on, the more they're not gonna be able to hide it, and it's just gonna be like too noticeable to the point that their ratings might drop, because it's getting ridiculous. But you guys go take a look at some of the stuff I've said. Go look back at that Laker game, that play-in. You're gonna see Mike Conley sit his ass in that corner. Go look at the record books and see how much money the NBA make off these finals. We'll see if the Cavs and Warriors wasn't the most ratings ever. That's why you see them 4 years in a row. Go look at that kind of stuff. Go read that book, Personal Foul. You'd really be like, what the hell? You got this book. That's why they don't fuck with him. They don't fuck with him down the Heat. A few of the basketball players had him on a podcast, I think, like a year ago. But yeah, man, the fix is in, y'all. So don't be going to Vegas, putting your money, unless you really know you're gonna win. You really know what the fix is. Don't go in there and betting like that. Be real cautious. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. That's T Knows Everything for the night. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to touch on Pride Month. Yep, I'm going to go on ahead and spark that flame, because I'm confused about certain things when it comes to Pride Month. And I'll probably do this video in the morning in a few hours, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. Back at the post. Y'all have a good night. That was T Knows Everything for the night. Subscribe, like, comment. I take it all, man. I need it all. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And go look at everything I've been saying. I guarantee you like, ooh, you right on point. I'm telling you. And you can also tell me if I'm not on point. I don't hear everybody's points and views on what I've been talking about. Y'all have a good night. See you later. That was T Knows Everything. Ah!